So the backlink gap tool in SEMRush, it's really useful. You can find it within SEO under competitive research backlink gap, and you get to this screen. Now the reason for using backlink gap, what we're trying to do is we've got our client, we add some competitors, and we see where the competitors are getting links from a website, but our client isn't getting a link. And the theory behind this is if our client isn't getting a link, but 3 of our competitors are, then we know that the linking website likes to link out to sites similar to ourselves. So in here, let's put in Beefeater. So this is going to be our client. Then we'll add Brewers Fayre. You can obviously type these in. Hungry Horse, and we'll also add in a table. So this we're going to take as our client, Beefeater, and these 3 are going to be our competitors. And if we find a website that is linking to say 2 or 3, all 3 of these competitors, but not linking to Beefeater, then potentially we can go after that website and get a link from it as well. So let's click Find Prospects and see the information that comes in. Okay, here we are. Now we can export this entire table into Excel or CSV, and obviously you can play about and delete out columns, so on. But one thing that this doesn't export is the data within these particular links. So obviously we've got referring domain in this column, authority score, which is SEMrush's own score, which you can sometimes take with a pinch of salt, monthly visits, which can be useful, and then the number of matches. So this says 3 of our 4 sites have got a link here. Beefeater don't. All 3 of these competitors do. Now I know that wixsite.com is going to be a subdomain of here, a bit like a blogspot. Somebody who's blogging. Let's have a look. John Owens Magic.wixsite.com. Looks like maybe Brewers Fayre is a client of this website, and we're unlikely to get a link from there. This isn't a brilliant example to look at. We're probably not going to get any links from Wixsite. In fact, a lot of these at the top here, siteslike.com. Not sure that we really need a link from there. Staffslogin.com. That's probably garbage as well. So you really do have to look at the data that comes out here. You can't just say, well, we want a link from place123.net. I mean, you'd need to go and have a look at what it is. It's probably, again, it's not something that I've ever seen. It might really be garbage. So we don't just export this and say, go and get a link from loginmanual.com. What we need to do is actually see and take a look at sites that we think, okay, yes, I would love to get a link from that site. And I think stoke.co.uk would be a great example of that. So that's likely to be a local website, Stoke. So if Beefeater have inns and restaurants in Stoke, then chances are that they would link out to it. We can click into this and see. Let's see what Brewers Fayre have got. So here we go. We're talking about various restaurants in here for Brewers Fayre. Now we can click on those. We could actually see what the site looked like, what the link looked like, and make a judgment call and say, yes, we want one from there. We know that our competitors can get them from there. They're good examples. We can give that to the client, or we can just work on it ourselves and try and get Beefeater, emulate what these guys have done, and get a link for Beefeater. Coming down here, we've got the BBC, really hard to get onto. Might be interesting to see why these 2 sites have a link from there. Same with the Guardian. But again, here, somersetlive.co.uk. So Hungry Horse have got 6, table 1. Maybe if Beefeater have an inn or restaurant in Somerset, we might be able to get a link from there. because we know 2 competitors have. Same for the Bournemouth Echo. Heart, very similar to The Guardian. Stoke Sentinel. Parkrun's quite an interesting one. Wasn't expecting to see Parkrun in this list, but 2 of our competitors, Brewers Fayre and Hungry Horse, do have links, and we can see how they've managed to achieve that. We can go to these links again, see where the link is, who they're linking to, what the reason is behind that, and potentially Beefeater again could emulate it, and we also could get a link from parkrun.org.uk. And that's it really. It's a great quick way of mining sort of really good opportunities, and the better ones that you will spot are where you have at least 2. We've only got 3 competitors, but at least 2 competitors getting a link. It really shows us that there is an opportunity there to go after, and you do have to do some digging around. It's not just going to give you a list and say, right, we'll start at the top and we'll go after all of them, because some of these really might be garbage. So, it still does take a bit of manual effort. Like I say, you can export all this data, but you don't get the actual links themselves. So I tend to export into Excel, decide the ones that I want, that we've talked about, and then come back into this screen and start to look at the individual links themselves. And that's the backlink gap tool.